How's everybody doing? Welcome back to another video from my channel, Bulls to the Wall Trading, a channel where I share my experiences, my tips, my watch list, my recaps, and my overall consensus or thoughts on the stock market. This is going to be a recap of the stock market for today, October 4th, 2017. As always, do need to let you know I'm not a financial planner. I am not a financial advisor, so please do your own research. Please don't take my word on everything that I say. That's just my opinion, and you need to do your own research and see these stocks through. Please like and subscribe, and if there's anything you want to see, please leave me a comment, and I'll make a video on anything you wish to see. So we had a couple of stocks that made a really good run, so let's get into it. I hope you guys saw my watch list video last night and followed through some of these because the potential was there to make some money. So let's start like we always do with the bottom ones, with my my watch list that I keep an eye on. And I'll just run through these really quickly so I don't take too much time. And as always, I know the market closes at 4, but I have a short window to trade because I do have other jobs, and one of my trading rules is to trade only until 10 a.m. So that's why you see these videos fairly early. So first one we have right here is ETRM. I liked it in the pre-market yesterday because it jumped up to 245. Yesterday it never really went up to that, and today it never really recovered. It has less than 1 million, so we're not missing out on much there. CYTR, this one jumped to a high of 49 cents yesterday, and then it kind of plummeted. Today in the pre-market it didn't do anything, and at the open it went down, and it hasn't recovered yet, and it doesn't look like it's planning on recovering. A little shy of 1 million in the volume, so that's not very good. So we didn't miss much there. DRYS, this one was one that I was kind of watching, but I didn't really like the pattern in the morning, and it didn't really do what we wanted it to do. You guys can see right here I drew my line at the 323 point, $3.23. It started moving up in the post and pre-market. Let me draw that line for you so you guys can see that trend right there. You can see it moving up. It tested, let me remove that. It tested the 323 line that we have in the pre-market. It actually was right there several times, but as soon as it opened, it just went down. Kind of tried to come back up, but it never really quite made it to the 323 line, so not much there. About 3 million in volume, which is pretty good, so this one might come back around, but again, I don't trade past 10 a.m. ECYT, this one is one that has been making pretty big gains all week. It had a high of 6.55 yesterday, $6.55. So that's where I drew my line. It kind of gapped up a little bit in the pre-market. Again, this light gray area is the post-market and the pre-market, and the dark black, or the black, that's the actual market at the open. So in the pre-market it went down. Let me draw that trend for you so you guys can see it. So it just went down. At the open it kind of went up a little bit, and it's trying to make its way back up, but it's really slow. It's at about $5.55, so it has a whole dollar to make up, which that's a lot of movement in one day. It could make it, but again, I don't have time to sit here all day and look at it. 6.5 is the volume, 6.5 million, pretty good compared to the other three we went over, so that's great. Cat B is one that I have in my keep an eye, and then I moved it to my daily stocks because it was really good when I started doing my scan this morning. We drew our line right here yesterday. As you can see, it broke through that and it went to highs of 488. So this is where I drew my new line at 488, but again, it just dropped pre-market, you could see that right there, and at the open it just kind of consolidated and now went down. So not much there. 10 million is the volume, which is pretty good, but 10 million in the volume, but it's going down, so not what we're looking for. DSX, not much going on here. 200,000 in volume, not getting much love, not getting much action, so not much on this one. If I would have been keeping up with this one, I would have drawn a new line right here at 416, but in the morning it wasn't really getting any volume, so I didn't really bother to keep up with it. CDNA, this one is another one that didn't really have much volume, so I didn't really keep up with it, but you can tell right here, this is where we drew our line at $4.55, and once it broke that, it jumped up to $4.75. So if you were playing this one, you would have made a nice gain of about 5%, 22 cents per share. But again, the volume wasn't really there, so that could have been a risky play. I like to trade stocks that have high volume, so I didn't really follow up with this one, and even right now it's not showing much volume, so not my favorite type of stock to play, but it can still make move on low volume, but that's not something that I like to do. The RRX, excuse me. This one gapped up last night before the market closed to highs of 217. We wanted it to come back up and break through the 217. It did not do that. At the market open, it went down. It's consolidating. Looks like it tried to make a little move, but it got rejected and it's coming back down again. Again, low volume, so it's not something that I want to keep an eye on or like per se, because I like volume is everything. I like something with a lot of volume. ANTH is another one. I drew my line right here. I don't know if this was last night, I can't recall, but in the post market last night it reached highs of $2.07. We drew our line right there. As you can tell, in the pre-market it kind of went down, but at the open it started coming back up. It tested that 206, 205, 207 price point and it got rejected. So it just went back down and is now consolidating. 1 million in volume, fairly decent compared to these right here that haven't even cracked 500,000. But you could see clearly it kind of tried to come back up and test that 207 line, and it just didn't go through and it just came right back down. FMSA is more the same. This one gapped up yesterday to highs of $5.10, so we drew our line right there. Not much movement in the pre-market. It just kind of consolidated, went sideways, and at the open it kept consolidating. It hasn't really made any big moves, and it doesn't look like it's going to, at least right now. 2 million in the volume, which is good, but again, it's not really making much moves. FCell, here is another one that I had on my watch list. Clear as day right here. It made a really big jump to highs of 210. It went down in the post market, came back up in the pre-market, went back down, but at the open it came and it tested that 210 line that we drew. It tested it quite some times, 1, 2, almost 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 5 times, 4 or 5 times, but once it finally got through, it made moves up to 218. So that one could have been in play for you guys. Again, I wasn't keeping track of this one because there were other ones that had way more volume in the pre-market, and that's what I focus on, the stocks that are moving the most with the most volume in the pre-market. MNKD is the next one up. We drew our line right here last night at the $3 mark, and again this one, it broke through the $3 mark in the pre-market to highs of 322. So I drew a new line right there, and my mentality was for the price to break above that new line that we drew. At the market open, it kind of stayed consolidating a little bit, made a little bit of move right here, but once it finally made that move above the line that we drew, it went up to 345. So you potentially could have made right around 24 cents per share, almost seven and a half gains. So this one was another one, almost 7 million in volume. So very good, way more volume than the rest. The more volume, the better. MTBC, this one was the best one. This one was the one that I had my eye on all morning long. Let me go back. So we drew our line right here last night at around 394. This morning it broke that and it went to highs of 414. So my new line was 414. So I'm going to delete this one so you guys don't get confused. At the open, it kind of went above and then it sold off a little bit because of that big jump. Again, if you recall, I think I mentioned that if you bought right here at 169, 170 and it's at $4 when the market opens, you're probably going to sell just to cash in your profits. So once people sold off, it kind of came back around and it broke that line. And if you would have gotten in at the price point of 414, you could have rode this whole thing to 544, which you would have made about $1.31 per share for just about 30% gains, which is ridiculous. I mean, some people that have a 401k or have portfolios, they don't make that in a year, and you could have made that you could have made what they probably would make in a couple years in one day as far as a return. Just about 20 million in the volume, which is great. So this one was a really good one today. Cat B I already went over because I had it down here, and RGSE was the other one that I really liked today. This one I found it in my morning scanner. You could see it gapped up to highs of 260, so that's where I drew my line. So at the open it kind of went down and it came up here, so at around 260, and it went above it. So if you could have gone in here for a quick little gain of about 8 cents, or if you would have bought right here and you just would have rode the wave, you would have possibly gotten out at 293. So it's all on how you want to trade and how you like to do things. I am a momentum trader, I'm a scalp trader, so I just like to make quick little profits. I probably would have gone in here and sold right there, but the one that I had my focus on was MTBC, and that one was the one that that paid off for me. So again, this is just my style of trading. This is momentum trading. This is scalp trading would be another word. Breakout trading. There's many ways that you can call it, but this is my way of trading. This is what works for me. There's multiple ways of trading, but this is the best way that I can make money and the best way that works for me. And that's what I encourage you guys to do. Find your way of trading, find what works for you, and just focus on that. One of my mistakes when I started trading was that I wanted to learn every single way of trading, and it hurt me because I knew a little bit about everything, but I didn't know a lot about just one style of trading. So I had to take a step back and say to myself, well, which one works for me? Where do I see results? And it's this momentum trading. So I said I'm gonna forget about everything else and I'm just gonna focus on this style of trading because I believe it's the easiest way of trading, and I'm just gonna focus all my energy and strength on this, and it pays off. If you guys have been watching my videos, you know that I call these stocks out at nighttime, and most of them, if not like one or two, perform how we wanted it to do, and you can make a quick profit or a great profit at that. For example, MTBC, I had this one last night and look at what it did. You could have made a boatload of money on this one, and it's not that hard. It's not that hard. I called it out. It performed how we wanted it to do. It's just a matter of buying when you see that move and selling when you feel comfortable with how much money you already have in your pocket. So I hope this helped you guys out. For those of you following my videos, for those subscribers, thank you very much. I saw last night, I have not subscribers, but I have watchers from all over the world. So if you're watching this from Japan or Israel or I think Norway, Canada, thank you so much. I mean, that really does mean a lot to me. Please subscribe and like. Leave any comments if you want to see anything else. Be on the lookout tonight, as always, for my watch list video for tomorrow. And that will wrap it up. I hope everybody had a nice day. I hope you continue to have a nice day. Keep your head up, stay positive, and go make some money, guys. Thanks.